Tishbi Eliyahu 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 Hakiladi Bimhera Meyamenu Yabo Aleinu Im Mashiach ben David Im Mashiach ben David Eliyahu Hanavi Eliyahu Hatishmi Eliyahu 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 Hakiladi.
One of my favorite times is Havdalah, when we make that separation. There's a couple of traditions that I love. We just dipped our Havdalah candle into our wine, our juice, to officially close Havdalah. One of the traditions I learned when I was in Sfat is you take a little bit of the wine or juice and you just put it on your finger and you dip it behind your ears. And it's a reminder to have a sweet rest of the week. Just a reminder, you leave it there. Well, hopefully you shower and maybe you don't have it there for too long, but just a reminder that Shabbat is so sweet and we're entering into the rest of the week and it's coming again pretty soon. So a little celebration. And I don't typically sing, but I'm going to do this one because this is a Clayman family tradition. Our highlighted song on Havdalah is the following. Everybody loves Saturday night, wakadoo, wakadoo, wakadoo. Everybody loves Saturday night, wakadoo, wakadoo, wakadoo. Everybody, 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 everywhere. Everybody loves Saturday night, wakadoo, wakadoo, wakadoo. Happy Saturday night, y'all. Wakadoo, wakadoo, wakadoo. I learned that in the holy city of Safat in Israel as well. Who would have guessed it? We're going to take a moment. Isn't that, Judge, should we add that one to the mix?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Wakadoo.
I think I saw it in the prayer book.
I think it's in the prayer book. It's in the very end. Judd, let's sing some Hanukkah songs since this is our Hanukkah party. Then we'll break out into some breakout rooms and welcome each other, shall we?
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, I'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Let's break out into some breakout rooms and welcome each other, offer each other a happy Hanukkah and visit for a little bit. If you are new to our Zoom gatherings, in a moment, there'll be a little button that pops up on your screen asking you to join a breakout room, and then you will magically be lifted to a Zoom breakout room where you can visit with some members of our family. I see folks who are newer to our community. I see folks who have started our community on this screen. And so make sure you introduce yourself and welcome each other. It's one of, I think, the things I love the most about our Jackson Hole Jewish community is how welcoming it is. So let's welcome each other. We'll just take a couple of minutes to wish each other a sweet, sweet Hanukkah. Off we go. Welcome, Charlotte. Charlotte, welcome. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you for joining us. Well, I have you muted, Charlotte. I can't quite hear you. Let's see if I can.
Mute. Okay. I'm Charlene Zuckerman's mother.
Oh, well, welcome, Charlotte. So glad you're able to join us.
Thank you.
Folks are going to be joining back here in just 1 second.
All right.
It's going to be a big Zoom room here in a second.
There we go. Yep.
Welcome back. Welcome back. The Dawes family joined us. Oh, the Mans, Ariel and Carol, welcome. Happy Hanukkah. The Lundy family, happy Hanukkah. Good to see you all. Jack Crouch, happy Hanukkah, brother. Good to see you. The Krasnows have joined. Yay. And we're gonna later in this evening, we're on this in this Hanukkah party, we're gonna do some tours of Hanukkah decorations. I can't wait until we tour the Krasnow's house. That might be a winner there. Wow.
All right.
Okay, folks are all flooding back in now. Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, we're gonna transition to the next part of our Hanukkah party, but first I want to take a quick moment and make sure I introduce myself, because I know there are a couple of folks that are on the screen that are newer to our community. My name is Josh Clayman. I'm one of the lay leaders of the Jackson Hole Jewish community. I want to show you my Hanukkah decoration is my Hanukkah sweater. There it is. Live, laugh, Latka. My family's downstairs. They've got the good decorations in the household. Mary, would you introduce yourself, and then Judd can introduce himself as well?
I'm Mary Grossman, the Executive Director, and I am wearing my Hanukkah tights. Those are my decorations. Thanks for coming, everybody.
I'm Judd Grossman. I help sing and lead songs, and I'm wearing my flashing menorah that I'm afraid to look down at because I'm afraid I'll get a seizure if I look at it. So if it's bothering you, just put me aside into a back gallery.
I love it. I love it. Happy Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. We're gonna transition, friends, to our children for a moment. If you are a kiddo in our community, come in the front of the Zoom screen for a moment. And if you're new to Zoom, which I imagine most people are not at this point in the global pandemic, but if you're new to Zoom, You might, it might be a time where you want to be able to shift to a gallery view and see, oh, Ben Goldberg just got his Hanukkah sweater, everyone. Let's pin him. Let's pin him. Ben Goldberg, bring in the Hanukkah joy. I love it. If you are a kiddo in our community, see if you can come into the screen and see if you have a bag like this. If you did not get a bag like this and you would like a bag like this, we're going to show you what's in it. That means we probably don't have your address and you got to get it to me or Mary or Judd, okay? But for the kids that do have it, let's pause for a second, go grab those bags, and we're gonna open them up one at a time. We are gonna pull out some of this paper, and if you are one of the kiddos in this community, either raise your Zoom hand so we can see you, and let's pull out things one at a time and see what we've got. Ooh, the Levinson family, let's unmute you guys. And let's see what's one of the things. What's the first thing you pulled out of there? Ooh, it looks like donuts. Okay, all the kids pull out the donuts.
Yay!
All right, we got some donuts. We'll ask in a second, why in the world did we give everyone some donuts on Hanukkah? Well, obviously because we love you, but there's probably another reason. There's probably another reason why. Sufganiyot, jelly donuts. Piper Bailey, I'm looking for you, kiddo. I saw you raise your hand. Let me see if I can find you. Where are you, Piper? Piper, why don't you unmute? I'll put it on speaker view. What else did you find in there?
I think,
Wait,
what do you find in
what
there?
else? What's this?
It's Laka mix.
Laka!
Ooh,
Laka!
Latkes, Ryder and Piper. We've got Sufganiyot jelly donuts and a box of latkes in your mix. Does anyone know, raise a quiet hand, kiddos, why in the world do we have latkes and Sufganiyot? Any ideas? Yeah, Piper, why? You got to unmute yourself and then tell us, kiddo. Yeah. What do you
She
think?
just automatically raises her hand when anyone asks a question.
Ah, yeah, the question, and maybe Piper, maybe we can ask one of our other community members, someone can raise a hand. Why in the world are we giving our kids Sufganiyot jelly donuts and latke mix on Hanukkah? What does this have to do with Hanukkah? Anyone care to share? It can be, oh, the Krasnow family. Unmute yourselves, Krasnow family. What do you got?
Because they're fried in oil.
They're fried in oil. This is a festival of lights, and there is a celebration of oil. Beautiful. Talia Krasnow, who's going to teach us a little bit more about Hanukkah in a little bit. Another kiddo in our community, if you're willing. What else? Reach into that bag. What else is in there? Oh, the Dawes is. Oh, unmute yourselves. Show us what you got.
We have a menorah.
A menorah. And well, we got to ask, if there's a menorah, what else should there be?
There should be candles.
Check in there.
Yes, Hanukkah candles.
Candles. Hey, Vivian and Holden, how many slots are there in that menorah? Count them real quick. Or tell us, there should be the same.
7, 8, 9.
9, how come 9?
Because one is the Shamish and then the 8 for 8 nights.
Awesome. 8 nights, a candle for every night, and one is the Shamish, the helper candle. Hey kids, take that Chanukiah, the Hanukkah menorah, out of the bag. You can pull out the candles. What night of Hanukkah is it? Do you guys know, Vivian and Holden?
It's the 3rd night.
3rd night. So the tradition is we're going to put 3 candles starting on the right-hand side of your Chanukiah or your Hanukkah menorah. Just like we read Hebrew right to left, we're going to put the menorah candles in right to left, 3 of them. And in the center, you'll put your Shamish. Get that ready. We're going to need it later for the Hanukkah menorah community Hanukkah menorah lighting. Someone else in our community who's a kiddo who has one of those bags, raise a hand. What do you got in there? Yeah, is that Jane or Mia? Jane or Mia? I can't see. It's one of the Scharnhorst kids. What do you got in there, kiddo? Applesauce. I mean, everyone loves applesauce, but you know why we might have applesauce? What might that go good with that you already have?
Latkes.
Oh, one of my favorites. And we, in just a few moments, are going to see a way in which we can really make our latkes shine with some applesauce. And there's 2 other things in here, 2 other things. Another kiddo Another kiddo who has a bag, who wants to share? What's one of the other things in there? I see William and the Abrams family. Yeah, unmute yourself. What do you got, kiddo?
Yeah, what do we get?
A dreidel.
There's a dreidel. Oh my gosh, there's a dreidel. Hey, William, was there anything else in that box that had a dreidel?
Gelt.
Chocolate. Some gelt.
Oh, chocolate gelt and a dreidel. And we're going to talk about though. Hey, take the gelt and the dreidel out of the packaging. We're going to need that one. We're going to need that one later. Or if you didn't get a package, make sure you look around, see if you have a spinning top or a dreidel. Okay, and there's one last thing in here, which is just some directions. So families, if you want details of how to light the candles or how to spin a dreidel and play the game, we got all those details for you in these directions. Again, if you didn't get one of these, we didn't have your address, so just send it to us and we can get you one for the rest of the nights of Hanukkah. And I want to just celebrate for a moment our growing community. And it's not complete, but we counted 47 kids that are in our community right now who are celebrating Hanukkah with us. And I have to say, what an amazing thing for us to be able to have such a beautiful, growing Jewish community in our beautiful corner of Wyoming. Mary Grossman, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and that we have some new ones tonight here, and that doesn't include the teenagers.
That doesn't eat.
Teenagers do we have?
Yeah, that doesn't. We stopped at the kiddos who were below bar and bat mitzvah. If we include the teenagers, oh man, we got a lot of kids in our community helping to bring Jewish light into our world and into our community. So beautiful. If you are a newer or a new family in the Jackson Hole Jewish community, and want to just take a moment to say hello. No pressure, challenge by choice. You don't have to, but please raise your hand or unmute and do introduce yourself so that we can all welcome you with love into our community. Let's see. Anyone want to? Oh, yeah. Anyone want to say hello?
I'll say hello.
Is that the Lundy family?
Yeah, so my parents are Frank and Maureen Lundy, and I'm Megan Lundy, but now I'm Megan Shapiro. And we live in Colorado, but we're up here a lot. My husband and I, Stephen, and our daughters, Vivian and Mabel. And Frank and Maureen are my parents.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So good to see you all. Welcome. Happy Hanukkah, you all. And so glad you're up here and joining us tonight.
Thanks.
Anyone else want to say hello?
Grover wants to say hi.
Oh, we have Grover. Where's Grover?
Grover lives in Rhode Island, just outside Providence, Rhode Island. So I live with Grover and our cat, Sweetie, and my boyfriend, Dave.
Welcome, Grover, and welcome, Nora. So good to have you join us.
Just say hi. Just say
Chag Sameach. Happy Hanukkah. Oh, who else? Yeah. Hello.
Hi, we're Rachel and Grayson. We just moved to town. We are from Florida, and we are just kind of finding our groove and kind of getting into a routine and kind of learning the Wyoming way.
Welcome to Wyoming in the winter from Florida, Rachel and Grayson. Happy Hanukkah. We if you need some advice on good boots or snow tires or coats, you got a whole community that can help you. But most importantly,
awesome. Thank you.
Welcome. Happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Good to have you join us. Anyone else? Oh yeah, the Benjamins.
Introduce us.
Hi, this is my dad, Craig, and I'm Piper, and Ryder's back there screaming.
Awesome. So good to see you, Benjamin family. Chag Sameach. Happy Hanukkah. Piper, you're going to become a bat mitzvah before we know it, huh? So exciting, kiddo. So exciting. So wonderful to have you all here. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Anyone else?
What's going on?
Okay.
I think we're good, Josh.
Okay, let's keep on going, friends. the next bit of our Hanukkah celebration is going to be a special guest. So for the kiddos who got the boxes, there is a little Manischewitz potato pancake or latke mix. And we encourage you at some point during the Hanukkah season to try to make some latkes with your families. It's for our family, one of our most favorite customs and traditions of the Hanukkah season. And it celebrates both the making of Hanukkah latkes and the eating of jelly donuts or sufganiyot. Celebrates one of the miracles of Hanukkah, the idea that the candles in the holy temple, we had just enough candle oil to last one day, one night, but the oil was, we needed to get more oil, and it was an 8-day trip away, and somehow by a miracle that little bit of oil lasted 8 nights instead of just one. And so we commemorate and celebrate that miracle. We remember the idea of miracles and the idea of Hanukkah by celebrating with food that are cooked in oil. And I also think, man, it just tastes so good. Who doesn't love sufganiyot and jelly donuts and some latkes? Now, one of the things about latkes, and I'm going to make sure she's almost ready to go. One of the things about latkes is that you can get them in a boxed mix, or you can do a recipe from scratch. Ben Goldberg, I'm going to pin you right next to me. Folks, everyone, look at Ben Goldberg's latkes. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Robin made those latkes. Robin, unmute and give us a tour of your latkes. Wait, you got to unmute. We can't hear you.
Our kitchen is far too dirty to mute, but these are our latkes.
Yay. I love it.
They're
I
delicious.
love it.
Guys, I've been showing those the stuff that goes with them.
I think the Abrams had some too.
Did the Abrams have some latkes?
Ew.
Yeah, the pile's a little bit smaller than what it was.
But look at those yummy latkes. The piles are getting smaller, and that's a good thing. That means it's a good Hanukkah. Oh, Amy Aronowitz, they got some latkes. Let me pin you here. Look at that. Anyone else have some latkes?
Oh, yeah, I got it, Josh. I figured out how to unmute.
Ah, there it is.
So this is the box. If you got the bag and you got the box of latke mix, that's it. Cast iron pan, real hot. It took going real hot, but they got crispy. They're good. Cooked all the way through.
I love it.
Didn't even use any oil. Like, I figure I could make a whole bunch of more batches. There's so much oil left after doing this. I could probably cook them for another few days.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
like they don't even
Aronowitz
take
is
oil.
doing it up with the latkes. Well,
They're
friends,
good. It's a great mix. It's
and
different.
thank you, Sean, for showing us. So that's this mix made live by the Aronowitz family. And if you are interested in a homemade fresh latke recipe, I'm about to put one in the chat, and we're going to visit with Chef Barb all the way in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Chef Barb, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Chef Barb is here, and we're gonna check in on you, Chef Barb, a couple times during the night. But this first check-in, what do you have going on in Pittsburgh, Chef Barb?
So in Pittsburgh, we're going to make some latkes from potatoes instead of from the box. We're going to make them from scratch. So these are basically the things we're going to stop in. You're going to stop in 2 more times, and for this first time, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what you need. So of course, for potato latkes, you need potatoes. But the interesting thing about potatoes is that there are different kinds of potatoes. There are potatoes that are starchy and kind of dry, which is like this russet potato. And then there are potatoes that are waxy and moist, like yellow gold potatoes. And the best potatoes for French fries as well as latkes are usually the dry ones. So the russets are the best. So I usually get either for a family of 4, I usually get 4 fist-size russets or 2 gargantuan ones like these. You'll also need a half of a yellow onion. You'll need a potato peeler, 2 eggs. You'll need 2 tablespoons of flour per potato, okay? You'll need salt and pepper. And when you're making the mix, it's really important to put the salt and pepper in when the ingredients are raw. I had a teacher that always said, if you put salt on after something is made, it's like putting the hat on last. So you want to make sure you salt and pepper the potatoes before you fry them. The other thing you need that's really important is oil, because this is the holiday of oil, because it's so essential to what we celebrate. So there are two kinds of oil here. This is an extra virgin olive oil, which has a smoke point, and that means the point at which it starts to smoke when it gets hot. And I have safflower oil. The smoke point of olive oil is low, it's in the 300s. The smoke point of safflower oil, corn oil, things like that are over 450. This one happens to be 515. And that's more important to use something that's got a high smoke point, because you want to fry these oil, like the gentleman said before, in a nice hot cast iron pan. If you use oil, you don't want it to burn or smoke really fast, because that sets off the smoke alarm, and it also makes a not so good taste on the latkes. You'll also need either a food processor or a hand grater. Whichever one you have works fine. Our daughter uses a hand grater. I use a food processor just because it's faster. Those are the ingredients that you need. You need a pan on the stove. And when we get to the next session, I'll show you how to mix up the batch of latkes that you're getting the recipe for. And then in the last session, we'll fry them up and give them a taste.
Chef Barb, everyone. Thank you. Chef Barb, also
You're
known
welcome.
as my mom. Chef Barb, we'll check back in with you 2 other times, and I'm about to put your recipe in the chat function, Chef Barb, Chef Mom, so that folks can try it later on in this Hanukkah if you want. I grew up with this recipe. It came from my, I think it was from my mom's grandma, and it brings me back to Hanukkah, it brings me to family and our tradition. So thanks, Mom, for doing this. Love you. And we'll come back and check in with you in a little bit. In the meantime, friends, let's click out of latke making, and let's take a moment. In a moment, this is I think one of the most beautiful traditions that we have, that we've been doing for a long time in our Jewish community. I think, Mary, you can tell me if this is right, but I think this tradition goes back over 40 years. The Jackson Hole Jewish community started with a Hanukkah party out at Brent Blue's house when we started gathering together, and that community has grown and grown over the years.
Excuse me, Josh.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Oh,
that's wrong.
I am wrong.
It started at my house way before Brent.
Way before Brent. Lori, I'm going to put you on spotlight.
Way before Brent.
Give us the details. I have the story wrong. I'm going to spotlight
1975.
Okay, Lori, can you tell us the story of the first Jackson Hole Jewish community Hanukkah party? Because I have the story all wrong.
1975 at my house in Nethercott, where Larry lives, but it was the little house in the back with the curved roof, where Dava lives. And 40... it wasn't until, and I had the Hanukkah party at my house for years, and Brent came, and one year, Brent, it was so crowded because I had this really little house. Brent bumped into the table. It was a drop leaf table, and my whole set of dishes dropped on the floor, and there are little grooves in the floor where all the dishes broke, and they sliced into the floor. And then I said, okay, Brent, it's at your house next time.
Accurate.
So, that's the real story.
That's the real story. 45 years ago, the beginning of gathering folks in this community. I think it's so beautiful. And Lori, at that time, my understanding is we've always had a tradition of bringing multiple Chanukiah and bringing lots of light into our community, lighting lots of menorahs, yeah?
Right, everybody would bring their own menorah.
Okay, well, we're gonna do that virtually right now. We're gonna take a moment and we're going to see how many menorahs, how many Chanukiahs we can light in this community. So if Judd's willing, he's gonna play some music while we all go gather our Chanukiahs and our menorahs. And in a moment, we're gonna light them and put them on our screen so we can all see them together. So go gather your menorahs, go gather a flame, off we go.
על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל השבועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל השבועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
We have lots of Chanukah, lots of menorahs in the screen. If folks are willing, I think it would be really beautiful if we dim the lights or even turn off the lights. And when we light our Chanukah, we'll have a Zoom screen full of beautiful Hanukkah lights as Judd sings our Hanukkah songs and our prayers. I'll put the prayers just so that folks have access to them. I'll put the 2 prayers that we say to light the Hanukkah candles in the chat function. And in terms of tradition and how we light the Hanukkah candles, one of the things that we'll do is we'll light the candles while we set the candles right to left. We light the newest candle first. So we'll light them with the shamish, with the helper candle, but from left to right. And that's our traditions in terms of lighting the Chanukah. Okay, Judd, I see lots of menorahs and Chanukiahs on the screen. Shall we?
Josh, make sure you put your screen on gallery for the recording.
Got it. Thanks, Mary.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. On the first night you do a Shehechianu, but since it's our first night all together, let's do it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Beautiful. Oh, it is so beautiful to be all together, even if we can't physically be together, to be together virtually and to be able to all light our Chanukah together. Feels like we're together in person. I'll share it is a tradition that oftentimes when we light our menorah, we put it in a window. In some observant communities, they put it in the doorway. And the idea is for us to put the light of Hanukkah, the light of our menorahs, in a place where anyone walking by could see it, so that we are not keeping the beauty, the light, and the joy of Hanukkah to ourselves. We're bringing that light and our light out into the world. So I'm going to take a moment and do that, and then we're going to reconnect with Chef Barb in a moment to see how we're doing on latke making with my great-grandma's recipe. We're going to swing on back, friends, to Chef Barb in Pittsburgh. I'll ask my mom, if you can hear us, to come on back in, and let's see where we are. And just so that folks know, to give you a little preview of what's coming, there'll be some dreidel playing. There will be some celebrating of the decorations of Hanukkah that people have, and there's a little special surprise that we'll show at the end for some of the folks who are have decorated their Zoom screens. So let's just get Chef Barb, turn on your video and we'll spotlight you. And we'll see where we are in this making of our latkes.
Okay. So what I've done so far is I've grated my potatoes in the food processor, and this is the reason I do it in the food processor. Done. Where if you do it by hand, which is fine, it just takes a lot longer. You might skin a knuckle or two. But for this, it's so fast, and it makes these wonderful little stringy pieces that I love for potato pancakes, because that's the part that gets crunchy. This part you don't have to do, but it makes the potato pancake a little bit creamier. You can either squeeze out any liquid that might be in it with your hand, or you can take a nice flour sack tea towel and just squeeze it like this. And the reason we're doing this is to get all the excess water out, because you know, if you put a wet potato into hot oil, what the water is going to do is it's going to spatter and possibly burn you. So we don't want to do that. So we squeeze out as much liquid as we can, and then we put all the dried out grated potatoes into a bowl. And I already threw the onion in as well. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add our 2 eggs. There's 1. There's 2. And what I will do usually is I'll let this separate. So the liquid comes to the top, the potato starch from the potatoes stays on the bottom, and I'll drain off the liquid and add the potato starch back in with the shredded potatoes. And also, this is the part I was talking about before. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt in there. And I'm going to put a nice grating of fresh pepper. And then we're just going to mix this up. Little flour, as I said. Flour and the egg help to bind it. And then the next time we come back, we're going to have, I'll show you frying the potatoes, but we'll also have some fried up already, and we'll give a little taste test. See you in a bit.
Thanks, Chef Barb. We'll come back and visit. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So that's what we're going to be working with and doing some frying. That's making the magic.
That's where the magic happens.
We're going to get some oil hot in the pan over in Pittsburgh, and we're going to make some latkes here in a second. In the meantime, we're gonna shift back over to Judd, and Judd has a song he's going to sing to just put us in the latke mood while we watch Chef Barb. I'm going to send some lyrics because this is one that's fun to learn with your kids.
Tell, 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 a Maccabees in Israel. When the Greeks tried to sail, but it was all to no avail, The war went on and on and on until the mighty Greeks were gone. I flip my latkes in the air, sometimes singing, hey, spin the dreidel. I wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing hail. Light the candle, we say our honey seam. oh yeah, for all 8 nights. Then we played dreidel by the candlelight. I told you once, yeah, I told you twice about the miracle of the candlelight. They took the feel thing. There I was, thought, are they for real? They charged ahead with sword and shield. The war went on and on till the mighty Greeks were gone. I flip my lockers in the air, sometimes singing hail by the dreidel. I wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing hail, light the candle, and we say Ma'otsu, oh yeah, for all 8 nights. Then we play dreidel by the candlelight. I told you once, yeah, I told you twice about the miracle of the candlelight and the great menorah. For 8 days it kept on burning. What a celebration, a great return to Torah learning. I can feel it, and Nes Gadol, Hayasham, Nes Gadol, Hayasham, Sham. I flip my lockers in the air, sometimes singing hail, spin the dreidel. I wanna celebrate for all 8 nights, singing hail, light the candles. We sing a Hanisim, oh yeah, for all 8 nights. Then we play dreidel by the candlelight. Well, I told you once, now I told you twice about the miracle of the candlelight.
Thank you, Judd. Candlelight by the Maccabees. I put a link to the lyrics in the chat function if you're interested in following along or learning that as a family. We're going to transition to the next part of our Hanukkah party, and this is going to require some active engagement. So if kids, you have your bag, see if you can find your dreidel and pull it out and hold it there. And maybe you might even find the chocolate Hanukkah gelts that you got in that bag. It looks like this, wrapped in gold coins. And maybe if you had a chance already, or if you didn't, you can still do it. There's still opportunity. Maybe you bought some Hanukkah gelt from the Jackson Hole Jewish community. Friends, this is Hanukkah gelt made and envisioned by the kids. It's called Mountain Chai Hanukkah gelt. Mountain Chai Hanukkah gelt. It is Mountain Life Hanukkah gelt. Chai in Hebrew means life. Kids named this Hanukkah gelt about 10 years ago. They worked with Oscar Ortega to customize it. It has our logo on it. It's dusted in edible gold. It's 65% dark chocolate. This is different than this Hanukkah gelt, friends. This is world-class dark chocolate Hanukkah gelt. Oscar donates all of his time, all of his staff time to make this. All of the proceeds purchased by this Hanukkah gelt go directly to the Jackson Hole Jewish Community Education Fund and nonprofits that our kids choose. So if you have some of this, great. If not, in a second, I will put it in the chat function.
It's almost 7. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye, Johnny. Thanks for joining.
Just call 1-800-BUY-GELT. Do it now.
1-800-BUY-GELT. Right now, Judd, right?
Do it now before you forget.
We'll have the link in the chat function. But if you have your menorah, pull it out. And what we're going to do is Judd's going to sing some songs that are connected to the menorah in a second. And as he's singing it, raise a hand in your chat function if you have your menorah, and you can spin it and start playing some dreidel.
Don't spin your menorah. That would be dangerous.
Oh, spin your dreidel, not your menorah. Spin your dreidel, not your menorah. Thank you, Judd. And we'll put your camera on the spinning and playing of dreidel, and we'll see what's going on in our community. Quick teaching. There's 4 letters, Nun, Shin, Hey, and Gimel. They stand for Nes, Gadol, Haya, Hashem. A great miracle happened there. So let's think about great miracles. Let's play a game of dreidel while we listen to Judd sing, and I'll spotlight some kids playing dreidels for our community.
I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I will play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. I have a lovely body with legs so short and thin, and when it is all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 with legs so short and thin. Dreidel, 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 it drops and then I win. My dreidel's always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 it loves to dance and spin. Dreidel, 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 come play now, let's begin. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. When it's dry and ready, then dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play.
There's one more of my favorite that sometimes we know is connected to playing dreidel, sometimes we don't, but in Hebrew, Sivivon.
Josh, are you showing us the kids playing?
I am. I'm pinning them all, so I think I have all of our kids playing
Oh.
up on the screen.
It's because I'm on speaker view or something. Sivivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sivivon, sov, 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 Chag sameh, Chag simcha hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am. Sivivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sivivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am. Sivivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sivivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am. Sivivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sivivon, sov, 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 Chag simcha hu la'am, Nes gadol haya sham, Nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am. Sivivon, sov, 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 Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sivivon, sov, sov, sov.
Thank you, families. Thank you, Judd. And thank you, my daughter, Revi, who came up and said, Dad, you have to spotlight, not pin people if you want other people to see it. So my apologies if you couldn't see our kids playing. Next time, I'll let Revi run the technical aspects of this Zoom. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're gonna take a moment. We have some special guests who are joining us that I think it's an important thing that we tell the story of Hanukkah, and we have an opportunity tonight to have that story be told by our kids. And this is a tradition that we've had over the last couple of years. Every first or second night of Hanukkah, we would have what we would call a Hanukkah awareness night, and we would have a chance to let our kids share the story of Hanukkah. And Revi and Talia have offered to share a quick version of the story of Hanukkah. So I'm gonna spotlight them, and they're gonna tell us a little bit about why we celebrate this Hanukkah, the Hanukkah story. What is the story that we celebrate? So Talia Krasnow, everyone, there she is. And then I'm gonna find my daughter here. There's Revi.
Josh, can you put them on the screen like you did the dreidel?
Yep. Okay. There's Revi's spotlighted. And then let me see if I can get Talia back. Hold on one sec. Again,
Josh, thank God for our kids to show us the technology and what the wonders it can accomplish.
Seriously, right? And the learning for me is just next time I tell you, I'm letting Revi run the tech. Okay, so Talia and Revi, everyone. Hey, Talia, unmute yourself, and then let's hear the story of Hanukkah from these two wonderful kiddos.
Okay.
Say hello, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Talia. Well, we're gonna tell you the story of the Maccabees and also the miracle, but Revi will get to that. So it all started when the Greeks were mistreating the Jews and not letting them celebrate their religion, which was Jewish because they were Jews. And then later on, they started war. And this one family started an army and they were called the Maccabees. The Maccabees and their army won the war. Okay, Revi.
Okay, then they went to their temple to light a candle in celebration of winning. They found their temple in ruins, found their menorah. I actually just learned that the menorah that we have right now is actually a Hanukkah, but okay. And then they found oil, but only enough oil to last one day, and it would take 8 days and 8 nights to get more oil. And then the miracle happened. The oil lasted for 8 days and 8 nights. So yeah, and that's why today we celebrate. And we eat latkes and jelly donuts because of the oil miracle. So yeah.
Talia and Revi, thank you so much. You can do one of these for a little hand applause. Raise your hands and wave them back and forth. Give these two girls some love on behalf of our community. Talia and Revi, see all those folks clapping for you and sharing love. So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The miracles and the stories of Hanukkah, this small band of Jews, the Maccabees. No one thought they'd be able to take on this huge army, and they did, and they won. And then there's the story of the miracle of the oil and the rededication of the temple. So
Hey Josh,
beautiful.
we can't hear you.
Okay.
I can.
Okay. So beautiful. Thank you, Tali and Revi, for sharing that. Friends, we just have a couple more things in this Hanukkah celebration. We're going to sing some more songs. We're going to check in for one last time with Barb, but stay with us because at the very end, we're going to tour these amazing Hanukkah decorations, and there's a couple prizes we want to give out. So let's go over to Judd, and we're gonna sing Ma'ot Tzur and really settle into the beauty of this holiday.
Ma'ot Tzur Yeshuati L'Hanai L'Shabeach Tikon B'Tefilati V'Sham Toda L'Zaveach Yatachinat Be'ach Mitzar Hamnebeach Azeng Mor B'Shir Mizmor Chanukah HaMizbeach Azeng Mor B'Shir Mizmor Chanukah HaMizbeach.
Let's click on over to Barb in Pittsburgh. Mom, if you're there, let's see where we are. Let's see
I
where
am
we
at-
are.
I'm at the oven. And so I've been frying away here. And I will show you something in 1 second. Let me just get this one over here. So when you first want your oil to be, you want to make sure your oil is hot. What you can do is you can take just a little bit of, you really can't see it that well, but I make sure when I put it in, you pack it down a little, you can see right there. And I leave it and don't move it until it's completely brown all around the edges. When it's completely brown all around the edges, then I'll flip it. And when I flip it, I shake off all the excess oil. And as you can see, because I did it with that grating, it has all those little nooks and crannies. And I'm just gonna take 2 out right now because these are done. And I'll turn this down and I'll go over and show you what I've got back on the counter. So here are some of the finished latkes. And what I do is I don't drain them on paper towels. What I do is I drain them on a wire rack with the paper towels underneath. And the reason for that is that sometimes when you put them on the paper towels, they tend to become a little soggy. So instead of being soggy, you drain off any excess oil that there might be. And then you have some really awesome looking potato latkes. And in our house growing up, my father was from Russia, so he did sour cream. My mother, her family came from Alsace-Lorraine, part Germany and part France. So this is what my latkes always looked like and still to this day look like. Half sour cream, half applesauce. So now the taste test, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I already ate one with my fingers because I just couldn't wait. Crunchy on the outside. See all the crunchy little tendrils? That's why I love to do it in the food processor. The inside is soft, delightful, tasty. Just a little salty because we put the salt in at the right time. That's how you make Hanukkah latkes. Chag Sameach, everyone. Have a wonderful, safe, and joyous Hanukkah and New Year.
Barb, real quick question, just to be clear, did you use the safflower oil?
Safflower oil. I did. I used safflower oil.
And canola oil, would that be similar or?
Canola oil, corn oil, peanut oil, anything with a low flavor profile is usually better so that you get the full taste of the potatoes and the onion and the salt and pepper. The other thing that you can do, I have a friend who likes to put fresh chopped thyme in her potato latkes. And sometimes when I want to get really fancy, I'll buy some fresh salmon and I'll slice it into thin slices. And I'll put down a little of the potato pancake mixture, the piece of salmon, and more potato pancake mixture. And by the time you've flipped it and take it out, the salmon is perfectly cooked and it's delicious. Any other questions? Well,
Barb, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you ever pre-bake the potatoes so you don't have to fry them in as much oil?
I don't, because I like just frying them straight up. And when you pre-bake them a little bit, it sometimes changes the flavor because you know how a baked potato is kind of dry. So I just tend to use the raw potatoes. The other thing I wanted to mention was you can peel your potatoes and keep them covered in water in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. So if you want to peel the potatoes and you decide I can't make latkes tonight, just put them in the refrigerator. The other thing is these cooked latkes freeze beautifully. Freeze them in aluminum foil in a flat sheet And then when you go to cook them, just put that flat sheet of aluminum foil with the latkes in it, just open it up, and they taste almost as good as fresh ones because there's a little oil that usually seeps out. And so it's almost like refrying it from the freezer.
Let's give some hand applause. Shake those hands. Give an applause for Chef Barb, Grandma Clayman. Hey, Clayman girls in Jackson, stand up because Mike Schur pointed out something really notable.
Oh.
That is true, and this was not planned, everyone. Matching Hanukkah outfits across 3 generations of the Clayman family, because just that's how we roll, folks. That's how we roll in the Clayman family.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Chef Barb.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Okay.
That's Chef Tom in the background.
Chef Tom comes in to eat.
I'm coming at the right time.
He's the official taster.
Official taster. Okay. Mary, I think it is that time where I'm spotlighting you, Mary, and I'm going to spotlight myself. We're gonna take a little tour. Now that we've had a chance to do some tasting, we're gonna start with a little tour of these beautiful decorations that we have for Hanukkah. And I'll show you something that Mary was able to find. Mary, what do we have for some of the folks who have so graciously decorated their homes to bring Hanukkah light into our community?
Are the Kings still here? Because they actually are the ones who found them. They might be gone. Anyway, they're Hanukkah COVID masks. And we should have one for everyone who decides to show their decorations. You don't have to show your decorations tonight, but if you want to, you can swing by the Jacksonville Jewish community and I'll have them hanging outside the door. You can grab one. Honor system. All right, Josh?
Shall we?
Grand winner, do we want to do a handshake or?
Yeah, if we happen to have a grand decoration winner, I think there's some good Hanukkah gelt for that good dark chocolate Hanukkah gelt.
Do a Hanukkah gelt for the grand winner and masks for everyone who just participates.
So
what are we gonna do this, Josh?
I think we should have folks raise their hand if you wanna do a quick 10-second spotlight. You can tell us what you've done to decorate your home or your screen for this Hanukkah season.
Do you want me to call them like the Krasnows?
Yeah, the Krasnows. Let's spotlight the Krasnows to start. Okay, Krasnows, what do you got for us? Talia, unmute yourself and describe to us your background.
Right now it is quite distracting, but we made a Jewish star with just like blue lights that we got off of Amazon, and it has different settings so you can make it different.
I love it. The Krasnows with a Star of David that can blink.
Okay, the Doss family. Doss.
The Doss family. Let me find them. Hold on one sec. The Doss family, where are you?
Show them the ball. Take it over there.
Hi. We have so the menorahs were gonna be back there, but we didn't want to light the house on fire. But then we have a Happy Hanukkah sign, and we have some dreidels that have our name on, and there's some Jewish stars and stuff that we wrote. And on mine, I wrote things like kind of like I'm thankful about it, and it's like Hanukkah's fun and stuff.
Awesome.
Vivian, how many menorahs were there? How many Hanukkahs? That looked like
see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But
Folks,
2 of them we didn't like because we just didn't.
Okay,
the Dawes family is bringing some serious Hanukkah light into the world. Who else do we got, Mary Grossman?
We have the Statters.
Hold on, let's highlight the Statters here. Where are you, Statters? I'm looking. There you are, the Statter family.
Okay.
Benny and Millie, what do you got?
So
For ours, we put this like Happy Hanukkah chart on our window, and we have these flaps, like you can put them down to like symbolize each night, and we have 3 up right now. And then we also have our menorah and like just winter decorations.
Beautiful. The Statter family down in South Park. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Millie. Who else do we got, Mary?
I'm looking. Raise your hands. Just even. Go ahead, Josh.
I see the Benjamins. Can we spotlight the Benjamins?
Yes.
Ryder and Piper are shaking your head no. Okay, you're lowering your hand. I'm going to unspotlight the Benjamins.
How about Amy Aronowitz?
Amy Aronowitz.
Bakers.
Let's find the Bakers. Where's the Bakers?
Yes, right. Shut.
I lost you. Where are you?
What's here?
They're on the last page, I think.
Okay, I'll find you. Benton, what do you have with your family?
I have my shirt.
Nice.
Ooh. Wow, look at that.
And my mom made this gingerbread menorah.
Gingerbread home with a menorah in the window. Ayla, Wiley, and Benton. Unbelievable. Very beautiful. Okay.
Oh.
Beautiful. The Aronowitz family. Who's next? Who else do we have?
Heather and Herschel, I don't have the photo. Can you just show us what you got in the background? We see it.
Let's spotlight Heather and Herschel over in Idaho Falls.
I have to share my screen. I don't want to do that, but we can see it.
No, that's not really it.
Oh, okay.
I sent you a photograph of our fireplace where I had decorated all these all this stuff. You were going to make it a background, I think.
Yeah, it was needed to kind of be in the background.
Mary, while you try to figure that out, Mary, I'm going to swing over to the Abrams family, who's got something going on.
I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where the camera is.
Right in the center, the blue dot.
Here it is. Let's see. Heather and Herschel. We got Heather and Herschel. Oh, look at that.
There it is.
Decorated the fireplace with Stars of David and menorahs, dreidels. Beautiful.
Nice menorah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Stop in my locket.
Okay, what do we got next? The Abrams?
I think I saw the Abrams. The Abrams, look at this. Oh, we gotta spotlight the Abrams. William and Lewis, what do you got going on there?
Latka Harry?
Latka Larry.
Latka Larry, I love it. And I think your dad was mentioning, Lewis, your dad was mentioning that he grew up in the South, and when you fry latkes, he's got an old Southern quote. Is he there? What's that quote?
Yep. If you ain't frying, you ain't cooking.
If you ain't frying, you ain't cooking. Thank you, Abrams family, bringing some frying and latke love to the Jewish community. Wonderful.
Josh, your kids.
Oh, the Clayman crew. Okay, let's see. Where's the Clayman crew? Let's spotlight what's going on. Revi and Neely and Lulav, you are spotlighted for everyone. What's going on in the Clayman household?
So we have back here, Lulav. Okay, Lulav, sit down. We have our calendar thing, like another calendary thing right there. And then Happy Hanukkah and lights. And then our menorahs right there. Oh, and then we have a little thing that you love and Mimi right there. Then we have outside, but I don't really think I'm gonna take you guys outside right now.
Thanks, Revi, from the downstairs Clayman household.
Yeah, and then we have
Rachel and Joel Rabbits.
Rachel and Joel, let's find you.
Moving in and out like a Harry Potter movie. Unmute. Show us your menorah.
And we got Rachel and Joel down in Alpine. What you got for us?
I don't have any decorations to show you just yet. I will. I'll send you something tomorrow.
It just
Beautiful menorah.
Beautiful. Let's see, Rose, the Aronowitzes, Shannon. Oh, Rose, let's get Rose Novak. Look at that. What does it say? I love something. Latkes. Let's get Rose Novak.
I love the latke. Can you see it?
I love you, Alatka. I love it.
And it's like the right kind of latke too.
I love it. Beautiful, Rose. Anyone else want to raise a hand and show a screen? Andrea and Matt have some great menorahs, and I'm just going to spotlight their home real quick, even though I don't see them. I bet you it's bedtime for their kiddos, but look at this.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
You got that going on in their home. Anyone else want to get spotlighted before we wrap up this Hanukkah party?
The
Aronowitzes over in Idaho. Let's spotlight. We're going to spotlight you, Barb, and let's unmute you. Unmute yourself so you can share with us what's going on over there. I bet you there's some multi-gen.
We have some Jewish stars and dreidels.
Jewish stars and dreidels, beautiful.
Don't forget to notice
and the menorah.
Notice the calligraphy of the letters.
The calligraphy on the stars and the menorahs, beautiful.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So Josh, I think I've got everyone.
Okay.
Hey, I think we've done it, folks.
Yeah, they
We
light up.
decorated multiple screens for Hanukkah. And hey, I was counting how many people we had. There were 95 folks who joined us tonight to celebrate Hanukkah, which I think is so beautiful. And next year, maybe in Jerusalem, and if not, I know this is not the holiday where we say this, but I think it's appropriate. Maybe next year in Jerusalem, or even better yet, maybe next year all in person in Jackson Hole for our Hanukkah party.
Have a smelly, crowded latke party with all in East Jackson used to have latke parties, and they were pretty crazy. Next year, guys.
Thank you, leaders. Mary,
You're
Josh.
muted, Jerry. You have to unmute.
I can hear.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for putting on this great program.
Thanks, y'all. We're gonna
Some more songs though, so don't go.
we're gonna wrap up with a couple songs. There's Oscar's Hanukkah Gelt is in the chat if you wanna purchase some. And Mary, any announcements before we wrap up with some songs?
Next week, Shabbat and Torah study. Stay tuned for some films this winter. I'm working on it.
Hey, sending lots of love to everyone for a sweet Hanukkah filled with health and light. Looking forward to hopefully seeing
Mary,
everyone.
we wanted to introduce Pita.
Who's that?
Pita's kind of sleepy, but you can see him right here. Let's see if I can
No,
find
that's your phone.
Thank you.
Let me see, Rachel. Is that a dog?
Yes.
Oh, hey, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Hanukkah puppies.
Lots of them this year.
All
Okay,
right.
everyone. So for those who showed us your decorations, there will be a little gift for you at the Jackson Hole Jewish community hanging on the door. Honor system, just swing by and get it.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
מי ימלל גבורות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. מי ימלל גבורות ישראל, אותן מי ימנה, הן בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. שמע והימים ההם בזמן הזה מכבי מושיע ופודה ובעמנו כל עם ישראל יתאחד יקום ויגאל ממלל גבורות ישראל אותן מימנה הם בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם ממלל גבורות ישראל אותן מימנה הם בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל העם. Chag Sameach, everybody. Stay and schmooze. Feel free to unmute and say hi to as if it was a party. And thanks, Josh, and thanks, Mary, and thanks all the people with the great decorations.
Don't go in. Oh, you can unmute.
Josh, where did you get the pacemaker? I mean, Judd.
Oh, this?
That's a pacemaker.
Down at St. John's. They're giving away.
Careful. You'll electrocute yourself.
Have to be careful around the microwave. Otherwise, I'm fine.
What are they talking about? Something that Judd has, might be a metric.
Chag Sameach.
Oh, it's a menorah.
Chag Sameach.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebbe.
Hi, Nora.
Hi,
This
Missy.
is
Happy Hanukkah.
Look at beautiful menorah. Happy Hanukkah.
Nels, I love your blinking star.
Yeah.
Kevin, that was a
Great.
good job.
Wonderful.
I'm
Good party.
Jamie go away? Yeah, I think she left a while ago.
Clemens, those are the first menorah tiaras I've ever seen.
Love them.
From Ann Mimi in Buffalo.
Thank you, Shar, for teaching us.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah, Barbara.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah.
I propose that next year, any members that are over 77 years old get a donut.
Yeah, yeah. I want a donut.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.